Alright, what's up boys, girls, and everybody in between or outside that spectrum? My name is Raptor, and today is the start of a series about teaching you how to play as and against different characters in the new game, Rivals of Aether. I've already done this guide for Maypul once before. I was very monotone. I didn't cover a lot of things that I wanted to because it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. But here, I'm back, I'm ready to go, and I'm going to give you an even better guide showing off some combos, some tips and tricks, and even better matchup explanation. So as I said today, Maypul is the target of our guide, and I'm going to be moving into a unscripted part of this video where I talk about her combos, her moves, and just some general tips and tricks. So I will see you back here in just a second. Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Raptor here, and today we're going to be looking at Maypul's moves, combos, and just some helpful tips for her. This is going to be the unscripted part of the video. The rest of it I do have scripted. I'll try to be more lively than I was last time. I was extremely monotone, and that was kind of boring. But for right now, we're going to be looking at Maypul's basic attacks. You know, her grounds, her tilts, aerials, strong attacks, specials, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to go into some of her combos that I found, her bread and butter, kind of everything that you really want to be using against basically any other player except for Raptor, which I'll talk about in the matchup part of this video. So just to start off, Maypul's jab is very, very strong. It has 2 hits, so it doesn't actually lead into a 3rd hit that will knock the opponent back. But what you can do with it is you can push your opponent off the stage and then just keep jabbing like this. If they don't know what they're doing, or if they have really poor recovery like Maypul does before her mark is actually applied to you, you can just sit there and spam this all day, and really your opponent can't do anything about it. Okay, so then moving on to Maypul's forward tilt, that can actually kill. If you're at the edge of the screen and you've got a good amount of damage on the opponent, just keep kind of trying to use this instead of jab. This is actually really good. It has synergy with your normal jab because you can just keep doing this, and eventually they'll be at a point where they can't really. Oh, okay, I messed that up. But they'll be at a point where they can't really recover as well because you'll just be forward tilting them all day, and then they'll fall off the stage. This is really only good against characters like Arcane, Maypul, when they don't have their recovery set up. It can work against opponents that really aren't paying attention, but you just gotta be careful about it. Okay, so next is Maypul's down tilt, and what this does is she swings out her tail in front of her like this. It'll knock the opponents in the air. I think the closer you are to them, or the less percent they have, it'll actually affect the way that they get knocked up. Yeah, if you hit them, it looks like with the tip of your tail on the ground, it'll pop them just straight up. However, if you don't, it'll pop them a little bit forward. So this can be really useful for setting up some cool combos. What you can do is, see, you can do that. You can down tilt into neutral air, get some good free damage. So it's a really simple move. It's pretty useful. You can use it for edge guarding too. Why did I turn around? Anyway, it's a pretty simple move, but all around very useful. Next we have her up tilt. This is another good way to start off some combos when they're at lower percents. When they're at higher percents, you really don't want to be using it that much, except for spacing. Because what's going to happen is they're going to go too high up into the air to actually be able to be hit by any of your stuff. And there's actually one of Maypul's bread and butter combos right there. But yeah, use this move to set up some combos. You can also kind of loop this. Oop. Without moving, you can loop this together at lower percents. Yeah, let me see if I can actually, there we go. Like this. You can just keep hitting the opponent if they're not VIing properly, or if they're not actually paying attention, and you can just keep hitting them over and over again. And so moving on to Maypul's aerials, her neutral air is probably the one that you're going to be using the most as a combo string. It's very, very good because what it does is it has her blades stick out on both sides of her, and Maypul's actually going to be able to hit the opponent from either side. So if you mess up a combo, if you get, let's see if I can actually make it happen first. But I was trying to show. Oh, I didn't actually go over a dash attack. Let me do it. So her dash attack is actually one of her better butter combo starters. It hits the opponent twice, and the second hit knocks them up. And then with the momentum that you already have, you can lead into a combo really easily, like this. And then you can hit again and spike with your forward air. So it's a really, really good way of setting up your early kill pressure. It's a very, very useful move, and it's really safe from what I've seen. Like, normally I don't get punished too hard for just spamming dash attack. So it's, if you don't know what else to do, just kind of spam dash attack, hope you get a hit in, and just start comboing off that. Don't do this against an opponent that actually knows what they're doing though, because they will parry it. The first hit isn't as important, but the second hit, they will... Actually, I don't know what I'm saying. The first hit, if they see you coming, it's actually a really easy parry. So you really gotta be careful for that. Alright, anyway, moving back up to Maypul's aerials. Her neutral air, as I said, is very, very, very important to your combos because it'll hit them on either side. So if you start messing up a combo, you're like, oh crap, now they're on the other side of me. It's no problem. The neutral air will actually hit them on both sides. It does a fair bit of damage. Let me see. Yeah, about like 8% or so. And with some decent knockback, I've actually killed with this move before. So yeah, very, very cool, very good. I really like this move a lot. It's one of my favorite neutral airs in the game. And with good reason too. But moving on, her back air. Oop, that's not back air. Her back air, pretty useful for setting, or not really setting up combos, but just kind of spacing, I guess. It does a fair amount of damage as well. Second hit actually knocks up. So you can do kind of stuff like that. You can back air into a... Ooh, come on now. Oh, come on now. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna neutral air then. But you can back air into a forward air just like that. It's really easy to set up combos in this game, trust me. But back air, I don't actually find myself using it a whole lot, just because I'm mostly always going to be facing the opponent, unless they get behind me, and then in which case I'll just back air and pop them back up into the air. Alright, next is her up air. This actually can kill at higher percents when you're at the higher parts of the stage. Oh, that's forward air. Yeah, just like that. So really, what you can do is, if the opponent's on the platform, you can just stand under them and keep on using your up air. And if you hear my controller right now, I'm sorry about that, but there's not much I can do about that. I can't really silence my controller. Anyway, what you can do though is you can stand under a platform and you can just keep using up air to kind of try to space the opponent out, make them afraid to get off of that platform. Just be careful not to land on the platform, because then you're at the same height as your opponent and you're at landing lag as well. There's a little bit of a delay before you can actually do something, so yeah, you want to be careful about that, because if you do get on the platform and you're not expecting it, your opponent can really easily counterattack you. And last but not least is her down air. This is a super useful attack. Let's say you're on the ledge, you're on the platform like this, and you're against a Maypul or somebody else, and they're just spamming up air against you. You can use this move, you can jump to the other platform, and on the way you can use down air, and it'll create this little thorn beneath you, and what it'll do is it'll actually hit the opponent. It'll interrupt their movement, and they won't be able to actually capitalize on that. So it's really, really useful move. I found myself actually using this quite a bit in stressful situations. Like if my opponent is underneath me and they're trying to get me with a strong attack, I'll just use this. It'll interrupt them, and then you can go about the match pretty simply. So yeah, that's Maypul's aerials, her normal attacks. Let's talk about strong attacks now. Their strong attacks, they're pretty cool. They have a lot of range to them. I think they have, besides Arcane, I think, when Arcane is over his puddle, they have among the highest range, especially her up smash. I'm just gonna call it up smash for all you Smash Brothers players out there. But yeah, her up smash has a lot of range. So does her forward smash. Down smash, not as much, but up smash and forward smash are, what am I trying to say? They're very, very useful, especially when you have your mark on your opponent, snare him like that, and then you get another hit in. But what is actually kind of the drawback of this is that they have a bit of a long startup time. So your opponent can either parry, they can just jump, they can get out of the way. So forward and up smash are kind of hard to land, which is why what you want to do is you want to mark your opponent first, hit him with, why is my controller not working? Hit him with a down smash and then hit him with a forward smash or up smash if you can. Most of the time it's going to be down smash and a forward smash because they get snared. The down smash comes out a lot quicker than your normal smashes. So in order to catch your opponent, you're really going to want to be using your sorry about that, the burp. You really want to be using your down smash because that's the quickest one, and it'll catch your opponents off guard. And I've seen it actually to where you can actually use down smash twice. That's totally fine too. As long as you hit the opponent with your second smash attack, then they're probably going to be dead at higher percents with that bind. And that bind comes from your neutral special, your side special, or your aerial down special. And what this is Watcher's Mark. What it does is it allows you to, I didn't mean to use that. We'll talk about that plant later. But what that does is it allows you to snare your opponent with your strong attack, and it allows your recovery to become a lot better. Because if they're on the stage and you jump up and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna die. Nope, and you just teleport right back to them. Well, not really teleport, but you just kind of grapple right back to them. So yeah, you really, at the very start of the match, try to get your mark on them as soon as possible. Like, forget everything else about the match and get your mark on them. Do it as soon as possible. It is so very important to get your mark on them. Without it, you cannot snare them, you cannot get back onto the stage. You're at a extreme disadvantage if you can't actually get your mark on them. What I usually like to do is I like to just, as soon as the match starts, I throw my neutral special out, and it only does like 2% damage, but you're not looking for the damage, you're looking to apply that mark. And normally what'll happen is against like another Maypul, what's his name, Zitterburn, or Kane, or even Raptor. Basically, anybody that's not Crag or, I forget his name, Forceburn, I'm going to start with this, and then they're also going to be throwing their projectile out. It'll clash, and then if that happens, I just run at them and I side B. Which side B, what that'll do is it actually can set up for combos very nicely at some lower percents. So you can actually start the game off with a good combo from your side B. But what it does is it dashes at the opponent and it'll apply a mark, a Watcher's Mark. And then you can just kind of actually combo off of it as well. It's actually a very good move. If you don't actually have your Watcher's Mark applied, let me just get rid of that. Yeah, if you don't have your Watcher's Mark applied, these can actually be used to recover. You can side B onto the stage, wall jump, and either up B or side B again if you're at a high enough point. Okay, but now talking about her down special. I don't use this a lot. It's not that it's bad, it's just not my playstyle. What it does is if you have a Watcher's Mark, it'll bind them just like your strong attacks. So it can be really good if you want to, what am I trying to say? If you want to actually just make a trap for your opponent, you can mark them and then be like, okay, hey, come fight me. Because either they're going to have to jump over your plant and then you can just hit them with a neutral air or a forward air or whatever you like. Or they're going to run straight into the plant and then that gives you an opportunity to counterattack. And what I've actually found is that you can feed the plant seeds. Well, it's not under a platform. Hold on. You can throw your neutral special at the plant, and then it gets fat. So I don't know actually what this does. I'm not sure if it increases the bind time, if the hitbox gets bigger. I'm honestly 100% sure, or 100% not sure. Sorry about that. What this move actually does when you feed it a bunch of seeds. If somebody could let me know, that'd be great. I haven't actually been able to look up at the like wiki or anything. I'm probably gonna do that after I'm done with this. But yeah, it's an interesting move. It's really cool. You can actually forward. Oop, that went too high. You can forward tilt your opponent into it when they have the mark. or jab. Just like anything that knocks them back a fair distance into the plant is really, really good because it'll allow you to actually combo off of that. And then finally her up special is your main form of recovery. However, be really careful. If your opponent decides to jump off the edge to go fighting for you, and you up special to them, you can still you get a jump back, which is really, really important. So if you up special to them in the midair, and they're like over here, you get your jump, and then you side beyond on the stage. Don't try to fight them. Make sure you get back on the stage and then reapply your mark as quickly as possible, because it's really, really hard for Maypul to recover when she's off stage and the opponent is off stage as well. Also, another thing, don't try to chase your opponent off stage unless you're 100% sure that you can get back onto the stage. I've done it before, and it's really embarrassing where you go off the stage to try to hit your opponent, you miss, you try to get back on the stage, and you just don't have the tools to do so. So be really careful about fighting off stage. Alright, so let's move into some of Maypul's combos. I'm going to set my opponent back at 0 here. So, one combo that I found fairly interesting is that you need your plant and your mark to do this. You forward tilt a couple times into the plant. That wasn't it. Alright, let's try that again. So you forward tilt into the plant. God, okay. Don't understand what's wrong with me. I'm probably going to cut this out until I get it right. Alright, so let's see here. You forward tilt into the plant, and then you just strong attack. Like, that's the simplest way to kind of apply your mark without your opponent noticing. Is just to have your plant down. You forward tilt over the plant, I guess. You see what I mean, though? You can forward tilt them into the plant at the right angle. The higher percent, the further away they're going to need to be from the plant in order to actually hit it. But that's kind of a basic, just 2-hit combo. Another combo that is like basically her bread and butter. I use this one a lot in a lot of my matches. This is your early kill spike off the stage. Okay, why are you rolling? No, bad. Go over there. Okay, so you can use this from mid stage all the way to the end of the stage. This works best on stages like this one, where it's flat and then you have like a couple platforms at the same height. Not like with the Earth stage where it has like 2 different platforms, because you could accidentally not, like, let's say like the platform that's like right over here. With your dash attack, you can actually knock them up onto the platform and it won't work anymore. So what you do, you dash attack, neutral air, dash attack, and then forward air. Usually that works really, really well against characters like Orcane or Maypul, especially if your opponent doesn't realize how to actually get back onto the stage. So it's a very, very good early kill move. It actually works. So let me see if I can get it again. Yep. And then you can just keep trying to spike your opponent to try to get back on the stage. So really easy kill pressure setup. So again, that combo is dash attack, neutral air, dash attack, forward air. And then you can forward tilt to get them back off the stage, and then just try to spike them. Like, use your edge guarding to your best advantage, like this. Yeah. So just spam either your forward tilt or your jab when they're off the stage like that in order to push them off. Alright, another combo that I found is actually going to be up tilt, neutral air, dash attack. It doesn't work all the time because sometimes you'll end up dashing past your opponent. So just be careful about this. So up, neutral air, dash attack, and then just leading into the combo that I just showed you. It's a bit of a lengthy combo, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to pull off because your dash attack will actually go past the opponent, and you'll end up knocking them backwards. So just be kind of wary of that. So let's try that again. So up, neutral air, dash attack, neutral air, dash attack, and then if you can land it, the spike works really well. And see, that carried them pretty much across stage. Yeah, another combo. Another, ooh, come back, Maypul. There we go. And now another combo that you can do is down tilt, neutral air, dash attack. See, the thing is about her dash attack is that after hitting that neutral air, it can be a little bit hard to actually hit the second part of your dash. So let's try this again. No, I didn't dash. And your opponents can just jump out of it too. So it's not a reliable combo per se at higher percents, but it can still work at lower percents. Yeah, see, once they get to that second dash attack, they can jump out of it pretty easily. And again, use what I told you, just your up air is really just when they're in there. I think you might be able to, yeah, you can dash attack into up air, you can dash attack into a up smash if you're lucky enough, if your opponent's not paying attention. I wanna say, yeah, that works. So if you have your marked opponent at low percents, you can down tilt and oop, that's the wrong button. You can down tilt into your, if you can sweet spot it, you can down tilt into down smash, mark your opponent, and then down smash again. That's not sweet spot. Oh, that's also not it. Yep, just like that. So yeah, that's basic. That's Maypul's basic combos, her attacks, her everything that I've kind of just sat here and done unscripted. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll go back to the scripted tips, tricks, matchups, and all that fun stuff. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright, so that last part was a little bit long, but, you know, my apologies. Thank you for sticking with the video for so long. I really appreciate it. And now is the part where we move into Maypul's different matchups, and where I will give you some tips and tricks on how to deal with each and every matchup. Okay, so against Forceburn, what you want to do is you want to constantly be applying pressure to him. Your matchup is really going to be skill-based, and in order to actually win this matchup, you're going to probably want to be using that early kill setup that I was talking about in the combo video. Another thing that you can do is actually destroying his smoke clouds so he doesn't get his down special prepared to blow you away, basically. Because it's really, really dangerous once he actually does get that down special charged up, because when you try to recover to him, all he's going to do is he's getting a down special, you're going to fly off the stage, and this time you're not going to have a mark to actually recover back to, so it's really simple and really easy for him to get kills off you that way. Okay, so like I said in the last video that I made, Zetterburn is still basically Maypul's worst matchup by far. Zetterburn just hits so hard once you're actually on fire that Maypul really can't do anything about it once she's off stage, because just like Forceburn, Zetterburn's neutral special will actually just completely cancel out her recovery, because as soon as she tries to recover to him, Zetterburn's gonna hold down his neutral special and then just blast you with it. There are a couple of tips and tricks that you can use though. When you're on fire, try to stay away from him. Set up your plant and make him walk into it with your Watcher's Mark applied. Another thing you can do is use your down air a lot when you're trying to run away from him. It'll stop his movement and he won't actually be able to hit you with some of his strong attacks as you're coming back down to earth. And another thing is during his down special, you can actually hit him out of that with your up air, and he won't be able to land safely on the ground. It's also a bit of a laggy move if it misses, and it gives you time to actually come in and counterattack with either a strong attack or just to apply a mark. Raptor is the person that I was talking about that you can't really use some of your combos on because of his recovery. You can't use your early kill combo against him because he has, I think it's 4 jumps and a dolphin slash kind of attack like Mark does. So really what you want to be doing is you want to be trying to go for kills that are going to send him upward, because he can't really recover well upward if he's already in the air and trying to not go into space. So what you want to do is you want to be constantly reapplying your mark, trying to hit him with special attacks. If he misses his air combo and you end up below him, use your up strong attack. It'll actually catch him if you're in range, and then you can use another up strong attack to actually knock him airborne into the air and send him into space. Alright, so next up is actually against another Maypul player. What you really want to do is you want to apply your mark start of the match first thing. Then apply pressure, try to make sure you don't get marked yourself, and if you can, use that early kill setup that I showed you in this video. It's really, really effective against Maypul, because what you're going to do is you're going to dash attack, you're going to forward air, and then they're going to try to recover, but you can just forward air again. And since they don't actually have their mark, hopefully, what's going to happen is they're going to try to use their up special, and then they're not going to be able to. They're just going to go up a little bit and then fall to their death. So this is really kind of a skill-based matchup. Most mirror matches really are, but this is the kind of tips that I've prepared for you. You know, apply pressure, mark them, and then just use your early kill move. If you can't get the early kill, then just constantly going ham, basically. Try to avoid the plant as much as possible if they put that down, because it's really, really devastating if you do get hit by that. So next up is Crag, and unfortunately enough, I wasn't able to actually find anybody else who played Crag online these past couple of days. I don't know what it is. Maybe people just stopped playing him. Maybe something happened with him. Who knows? But I was unable to actually find any footage of myself fighting against Crag, and the last footage that I used was just not what I wanted. So it's essentially the same thing as last time. When he goes into his side special form and you have him marked, hit him with a strong attack or parry it. It's really, really easy to punish that move, even if it does have super armor. And you really do still want to watch out for him using his up special in air, bringing you up to where he is, and then just using his strong attack to basically instantly kill you from very, very low percent, since you'll be so high up on the stage. So that's really what you want to watch out for. Other than that, Crag is a little bit kind of slow, so you can use your dash attack on him a lot. It's actually a very safe move against him unless he's in his side special form. So Arcane, again, is Maypul's easiest matchup just because of the amount of pressure that she can apply to Arcane. Use your early kill setup to spike him off the stage, and just keep applying pressure to allow him to not set up his puddle, because if he does set up his puddle, it's going to be a lot easier for him to get back up on the stage. And even if he does set up his puddle and you see him flying off the stage, there's no way for him to use his side B to get back on the stage. He's going to be forced to use that puddle, so just camp out near his puddle and use your strong attack, like a fully charged strong attack, to just smack him, do a bunch of damage, and then hit him again with another strong attack if it was marked. If it wasn't marked, it'll probably kill him. If it was, you'll bind him, and then you can hit him again. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit lengthy. That's my own fault. I was talking a lot about the combos. I was talking a lot about Maypul's moves because that's what's most important about her. She has a very unique kind of skill set in which her attacks are a lot different from what you may be used to if you're coming from Smash Brothers. So I really tried to go in depth as I could and try to give you guys as much information as I could possibly think of. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I really hope you all have a great day. Bye bye!